Good morning. I have not been on here in so long, and I am currently in a very beautiful, peaceful, serene paradise of a weekend. So I figured this is the time, better now than ever to give some life updates. As y'all know, I moved to Mexico in 2022. I stayed until about December of 2023. So I was there from June 2022 to October 2023. Um, I keep saying October because that's when I moved. That's when I officially started living there alone. So I moved there with my now ex, and we broke up. And I spent my last few months there alone. And it really drove me crazy. And I don't think that I've talked about that in depth. But again, here I am with the time and space and opportunity. Um, about living in Mazatlan, like I think there are a few things to really consider. One, Mazatlan is it's relatively large. Like it's not a village or a tiny pueblo or anything. Um, but it's kind of small to me in the sense that once you've done the things that are to be done there, it gets kind of redundant. Um, Amazing restaurants, good food. Um, there are beaches galore. But after that, after a year and a half of that, yeah, it's like, well, what do I do now? I'm not a huge club or discoteca girl, so I was just finding myself a bit bored. Um, I'm also like, as a creative, I really love curating and hosting creative events, and that language slash culture barrier was really a hindrance for me because Mazatlan, also another point, is their culture is very preserved. Going to Mazatlan is not like going to Cancun or like even Cabo or probably Puerto Vallarta. Mazatlan is and it's beautiful. I appreciate it for that. However, if you're looking for that more gringo experiences, there are parts of town where you can get that, but it's not as assimilated yet. So I didn't feel comfortable taking like trying to look into those opportunities because I didn't know if the market was there for me or not. Another thing about Mazatlan or Mexico in general, and this was really like the deal breaker for me. And I didn't notice it until I was single, until, my ex left Mexico and I was there alone for a few months, is that it is very family, community, you know, relationship centered. It was not until navigating the city on my own, whether it was like for running errands or trying to take myself out to eat or whatever, that I recognized that like being out on the street alone is an anomaly. I I had never felt so lonely in my life. Maybe in like, I don't know, fifth grade or something. We moved around a lot. Maybe like my first few weeks or months of school being the new girl, but like when it came to being in Mexico, I had like a whole new set of triggers. It is not uncommon to go out on a random Tuesday night and see a family of 3 generations just having dinner. Grandma, the babies, mom, dad, sister, cousin are just out because they're so family oriented. I've never seen so many proposals in my life. People just out on the beach, getting engaged, weddings every single day, like, and not just in romance or family, friends. People have really tight knit friends groups of like years and years and years. So again, being on the outside of that was kind of lonely. And because the expat community, specifically in Mazatlan, is typically leans towards retirees or older people, um, even my American friends, most of them were married. So, like, just going to events with them, um, despite having that like language or culture barrier dispersed, it was just like I'm the only person here that's single. Everybody else here is married. So, yeah, mazatlan was I just couldn't be there anymore. And my final straw, I know I said that the loneliness was the final straw, but it was actually the weather. Believe it or not, I think because I was already being so triggered by the loneliness, having such like frustrating and sad feelings, and then looking outside and seeing paradise every single day, 85 degrees, 90 degrees every single day. Like, I recognize that I need seasons. I need change. I need my environment to change around me because I don't know, it just kind of feels validating and comforting for me, right? Like to have a sad, gloomy day where it's raining. Or like to feel, to feel cold and dead inside and also see that the trees are cold and dead. Like, oh, cool. No, but at the risk of sounding ungrateful, obviously I appreciated having beautiful, warm winters, but like the summer was really, really hot. And the last summer that I was there, the summer just of 2023 in general was one of the hottest on the record, like globally. So that was really frustrating me. And by the time it hit December and it was still like way too hot, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Get me out of here. So I have been in the States for 6 months now. I'm still doing therapy. Um, I have feelings about that, but grateful for a job. Therapy's part-time. I got a full-time job as a care coordinator, however. So that means basically I'm doing like social work for a nonprofit in Chicago. And I do like this line of work. It feels a lot less emotionally taxing. If you watch some of my mazatlan vlogs, I talked about how like exhausting it was, and I couldn't figure out, I don't think that I like, what's the word? Expressed it as accurately as a LinkedIn post that I saw when they mentioned that oh, look at these cute little birds. Hold on, let me see if I can get them. Did I get them? Where'd you go? Oh, bye. Sorry, y'all. I have the attention span of a gnat. I'm taking meds for it. Okay. What was I saying? What was I talking about? I can't remember. Coming back to America. Oh, care coordinator. Yes, I'm a care coordinator now. It's like social work, a lot less taxing. There we go. And I figured out why it's so taxing because of a LinkedIn post that basically said therapy is like a huge mental drain because every second of that hour you're making decisions. And as a neurodivergent girly, decision making is hard. It's really, really hard for me. I found finally that like I really thrive in jobs with set structures, like kind of just feeling compute, you know what I mean? I show up and there's a protocol and I just get to kind of flow within that protocol. But as far as me like setting the scene, and I've learned how to do it, but like it's been an exhausting process learning how. And I could say I'm a damn good therapist now, but I know that I need to keep my, quota and like my caseload low. So I see no more than 10 clients a week. America's cool. I'm back in Illinois. I'm in the suburbs of Illinois. Are y'all okay? Like, coming back and buying 6 groceries and that costing $100. What? Why is this like this? Apartments are like $1,500 for no amenities, old ass kitchens, raggedy. I'm like, do I need to go back to Mexico? Like, if you're living in a place where it's affordable and walkable. I have a car actually. I don't even I'll sacrifice that. If you're living in a place that's affordable and like relatively green, let me know, because I'm like, is there anywhere in America that I can go now at this point? Um I think that other than trying to figure out my housing situation, I'm really happy to be back in Chicago, because what I recognize between like the difference between Mexico and Chicago for me is that Chicago's a place where I can really drop back into my creative bag, because that's where I started my creative business, right? That's where I started Pose, where I started, it's a huge arts hub. Um, and yeah, I'm really grateful to be back in the center of this. I feel like that's pretty much the update. I feel like that's pretty well rounded. Um, I would like to make more videos, but y'all, I'm trying to focus and get like recalibrated to the life in America that I'm creating. So maybe I'll be back, maybe I won't. um, I am, if you haven't, or if you don't know, visit my website to find when I host events. So I did host like a new moon circle a few months back. That was super dope. My first like Muted Earth event alone. Um, and what else? I also am doing astrology, astrocartography, tarot, and life coaching. So if you're interested in any of those services, visit my website again. I gotta blow my nose, y'all. mutedearth.com. And I do free consultations. So if you just want to kind of chat and see about which service would be applicable to you, that's totally fine. I don't know if people are commenting or not. Y'all know I don't really do this often, so I'm not super informed. But I'm about to go. Bye.